this late into a matchup and then having it be a stomp either way.
But it happens so frequently. We've had that be something that actually is a common occurrence. You get those first 2 maps, and oh, is that surprising though?
That is not after the way that the Giants have been deploying Dokkaebi.
Not even a little bit. It's Aces, man. You gotta get it. You gotta get the Dokkaebi away from Ace's hands. But yeah, we've seen the stomps come out in the 3rd map before, so it wouldn't be a crazy thing to happen here. But obviously, nobody wants that. Other than the players on the team that would have gotten the stomp, right?
Yeah, I mean, the
other than that,
both of these teams are hoping for a very swift 7-0.
Yeah.
And maybe people who have things to do or places to go. Because keep in mind, it is 8 o'clock here local time.
Is it already 8?
It's 8:15.
Oh, boy.
It is 8:15 local time. And, well, people have to go for dinner, and there's still another match after this.
Yeah, you might have noticed there's some people, you know.
There's a couple people here.
Missing.
There's a couple people here.
So they got to get food.
Operator bans. Dokkaebi and Echo banned by Aerowolf. It's a Capitao and Valkyrie banned by the Giants. Now, Valkyrie being banned by the Giants is interesting because, well, Valkyrie is a very prominent operator that the Giants rolled out quite a bit. They know how to play around that. Aerowolf banning Dokkaebi makes a lot of sense with the way that Aces has been utilizing it. It's going to force Aces onto another role. Well, it looks like he's just going to go onto the Zofia and then flex off onto a Thatcher alongside a Hibana. All right. You don't need to bring hard destruction on Coastline. Let's just remind everybody of that. It's one of the maps where you can get away without running it. So.
Yeah. It's not a crazy.
It's not integral. You know, it's not crazy. You don't.
It's very useful, but I think Hibana is probably the best hard destructor on this map by far.
I would agree. Yeah. She's versatile. She's 3 speed. She's got a good gun.
It's the distance, though. Like it's the distance that you can put those Hibana Excaros on walls. You can open like the cocktail bar wall from the skylight. You can open up a lot of the blue bar walls from across the map, and that's good pressure that you can apply as an attacker. And it's not actually going to like win you around, not in the same way that opening up an armory wall in Border would, or something along those lines. That doesn't automatically win you around, but it's a really important key to the Border lock. Anyway, we're not going to get into that. What we are going to get into is this map. Aerowolf starting on defense. We'll have the attacking Giants bringing out an interesting lineup overall. They're keeping the Lion despite the Dokkaebi being banned out. So I like that they're keeping that prong of their attack at least. They're aware of how useful the Lion was, as well as the Dokkaebi.
Yeah, and in the way that the Giants play, it suits the Lion as well, being added to their repertoire. So not too much of a surprise there. As for Aerowolf, well, you've got the Vigil downstairs. Need to remind everybody, with Vigil as an operator, his ability goes through floors. So if he's downstairs in the kitchen, you might think that he's above in VIP. Well, he's not, but you have to figure that out. And the Giants have had stumbles droning things appropriately. Not only have they had some stumbles droning, but their entry when they haven't droned successfully has not been the greatest. Having a Vigil on the board could possibly be a major problem for the Giants and a stumbling block they will have to overcome at some point.
Yeah, I mean, right now on the defense we do have a mute. No Mozzie being brought, but the mute is going to slow things down. And that's definitely something that Giants are going to have to be wary of. The Lion, though, does accelerate things. In information gathering, Lion, what he does basically is, okay, you drone something, you have to secure that room that you've just droned really quickly, or it could be taken back by the defense, depending on the scenario, depending on the lanes available. The Lion can hold up a retake of something that you've just droned, and he accelerates that droning process by allowing you to kind of extend your reach, so to speak.
This is utility being dumped on into the double bars with a shotgun waiting point blank. I don't know if they want to take that engagement on Alphama, who's still outside. Rise manages to get away with a fight as Aces is there. Aces actually gets the very opening pick as the very first kill of the series goes to the Giants. Giving away his position is Lunar down below, but Asterix is there, refrags onto Rise. It takes a little bit of time. Lion is about to get pinched, and he might actually get away with a kill here, or whoever it may be. It looked like Lion's silhouette, but that's why this can be a tough thing. It's actually Aces, so the Thatcher looking a lot like the Lion. Hicks is there, and it's all Lunar medals, but nearly a flawless round. The Giants start off very strong on Coastline. Like we said, it's a frag-heavy map, and it's the team that walks away with the better guns that often wins it. In this case, it's the Giants.
You know, that's the thing. In this matchup, we've seen both of these teams pretty much leaning into fragging. That's what we saw. We saw it on Villa. That's so unusual. Usually, Villa is one of the slower, more strategic maps. You know, so hard destruction is incredibly relevant on Villa usually, but not so with these teams. Not so in that last map. It's been an odd series here for both Giants and Aerowolf, and definitely some very interesting plays. I mean, the aggression from Aerowolf is actually what ended up costing them a lot in that round. They got a lot of players picked off unnecessarily in spots that you just don't think you don't need to be outside of delivery door. You don't need to run out there. Yet, I'm sure Aerowolf are leaning into that because, okay, the aggression on Villa paid off. We may as well do the same thing on Coastline. It is a map that can really help you with that. Not just facilitate the aggression, but actually assist it because of its structure. It's no skyscraper, but it's up there. Now, we're going to be going to Kitchen, it appears, for the second site from Aerowolf. Double bar did not work out as well as Aerowolf hoped it would, but Kitchen is a reliable bomb site for most players.
Keep in mind that APAC also plays Penthouse. So that's a viable bomb site to see.
And did we see a mirror ban? We did not. So
mirror's unbanned.
So Penthouse is definitely a viable option, not only for Aerowolf, but also for both teams.
Yep. Even though Penthouse doesn't come out in any other region. I think we've seen it in NA a couple times. Rec has actually run it once or twice. We'll see if it ever gets added in here from these teams. Now, outside on the balcony above, it's blast-proof, so there's nothing to worry about from a C4, but Ysera is up there. Oh, goes the C4! Does it connect? No, it doesn't. Somehow misses, and Alfama should have possibly been taken away by that, but there's nothing. That's a very ballsy play from Ysera, and it doesn't end up getting anything. It could have come very tantalizingly close, I think you could say. Another E1D is burned immediately as, well, the Ash of Rise is making zero mistake. But Lunar Metal jumps on down. His position given away by Aces, 2 for Lunar Metal. Cannot get a third, but Corey swiftly removed from Ysera as he doesn't outduel Buck. What is going on right now? Everybody is dying. And Alfama guns down Mentalist. It's all on the Speakeasy in a 1v1. What hell just happened?
Site control for Alfama. Speakeasy does a little bit of damage through the wall. There's so much time, but it doesn't matter. He doesn't even try to plant. He peeks the Maestro. Aerowolf take the round.
Goodness gracious.
What an odd occurrence. I mean, everybody but 2 players died in the hallway upstairs.
I'm astounded.
As am I.
I am astounded.
That was a strange round, but it does really, I think, describe kind of what we've been having throughout this match. That was the pinnacle of it, to be sure, but that's kind of, I mean, it's just what's been happening. The whole match. Great engagements there from both teams. Great ability to refrag. The control not being, given away to their opponents. We see so often that a team will either A, get a pick and disengage, or a team will, B, lose a player and disengage. But not so with Aerowolf. Not so with Giants Gaming. They both lean into it. They get a pick. Oh, I want more. They lose a player, and I must get a refrag. And that has been the story of this matchup. It's really interesting to watch, and it does stray very far from typical Siege competition. Not only in the style of play, but also in, for example, the lack of hard destruction, the lack of objective play.
Yep.
Where, I mean, the Habana had the diffuser on site there, and obviously, definitely could have planted.
I mean, you
definitely
can't plant when there's a Maestro.
And he's right around the corner.
Yeah, and you don't know that. I mean, you got tagged.
I'm not trying to...
That's the reason why Alfama didn't plant, right? Because he got tagged as he was rotating.
I'm not trying to say that he should have planted. What I'm trying to say is there are an abundance of opportunities aside, throughout this series where the objective play just has been ignored. That's what I'm trying to get across here. And it's not a bad thing. I'm not critiquing. I'm simply stating what's been happening. Oh, no!
Oh! That's a mistake. Lunar Metal gets down, though, and...
He can down himself.
I don't know if the grenade downed him the C4. I think the
grenade
C4,
bounced outside.
I think the C4 did down him as well. This is just a clown fiesta at the moment. Corey finds Mentalist as now you have lobby control for Ace. He's going to continue to wander on. This is absolutely wild.
Ysera's trapped.
Ysera has no way out of this at all, but the Bandit is there as well, so Rise can push on in. Down goes one. The Bandit has been picked up. Lunar Metal is there. He's going to get blinded now. So if Lunar Metal can swing his way out, no, he can't at all. They got completely trapped. That was very swift, and the Giants will answer back. That was a wild ride.
I mean, this whole match has been a wild ride.
Yeah, but Coastline is like the wildest of the wild rides. I want off Mr. Bones' ride, or whatever they say.
What?
What do the kids say?
I don't know what that is.
Mr. Bones?
Nope, not getting the reference. Now here's the nade.
It's a very popular reference.
Okay, yeah, well, so the C4, yeah, the C4, he downed himself. Look at this. Bam. By the way, spectator bug that you didn't see the detonation.
Yeah.
So, all right, back and forth, back and forth. Giants, they get their answer to the round that Aerowolf just won. And again, I'm not even sure, did you catch the sight? Because what was it, billiards?
No, I didn't.
Because I didn't catch the sight.
I catch the sight.
Oh, is this Penthouse?
Everything happens so fast.
And it happens off the site.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be Penthouse, yes.
It's like we have, it's like team fights are coming out, and neither team will let it go. They just won't let it go. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
It won't be let go. So, yeah, Penthouse. Interesting. We don't see Penthouse played very often. If you're not aware, as Parker was saying, APAC from time to time will still play it. They're doing a very interesting setup here as they open up the VIP wall. They also open up angles towards 90. So you could see Aerowolf trying to extend their reach instead of anchoring in projector as we used to see the meta be on this site. Now, this is also really important to note. I'm sure that Giants probably don't scrim against Penthouse very often on Coastline. That's probably something they don't have a lot of experience dealing with, and especially not APAC's developed Coastline, which is very different than the old Penthouse, Penthouse specifically.
Yes.
The old Penthouse we used to see.
There's no Mira, even though she's available, so you have that tool that you could use if you're Aerowolf, but it's not going to be ran. Oh my. Mentalist must have been counting his lucky stars that he was able to get across the window this late with his life still intact. That could have gone so much worse for him. Giants with full rappel coverage right now. Overwatching the run out that would go through Guitar, while also being posted by the big window inside of Penthouse. I would imagine that from Aerowolf's lineup, you've got somebody playing far back in theater, likely Lunar Metal, that would be my guess. EOD goes off, but nobody really moves. Everybody's just staying still for the time being, unless there was a rotate later on the other side of the map that we didn't see.
Well, I mean,
down below is Hysterics. He can go for a run out at any time. Alibi has been a very formidable part of Aerowolf's strategy, and Giants just have not been able to do much with these alibis.
If I'm not mistaken, this is the slowest round we've seen so far. Lunar Metal will be down and picked off by Aces, and it doesn't look at that. The Lion EE1D will prevent a response from Aerowolf, forcing them to stand still. It'll be belated, but it'll still show up there. Corey eliminated and Aces from Speakeasy. Gas canisters going to do a lot of damage to Hicks, who will have to move out of that bathroom and expose himself. Arise is going to be finished off by Hysterics, who runs out from the billiards balcony, or rather the hookah balcony. That's a big play, but Alfalma at least is in sight. He can do a lot from this position, but it's going to be really on him and Hicks to make this happen. There goes Alfalma, now just Hicks off the last alive, but he hasn't really been able to make any clutches happen with this situation in the past. He's managed one or two, but, you know, relatively speaking, that's not a crazy amount. On low HP, it's not looking likely. 30 seconds left, and he's shot through the drone hole. It's done. Aerowolf get another round. That's a complete back and forth for 4 rounds in a row. 2-2.
Pretty astonishing as well, given that Giants is leading the way in opening kills. They're leading the way in being able to clear quickly. You said it was a slow round. That's correct. It was one of our slowest rounds we've actually seen. But
yeah.
It's been an interesting one. It's been a little bit messy, if I'm being completely honest with you. You know, both of these teams have had some significant issues with dealing with that opening pick, whether it be getting the opening pick and what to do next, being with getting the opening pick and then immediately being traded off. I really like, as you pointed out, that Giants immediately detonated the EOD. It prevented a refrag from Aerowolf, which they have been very good at position to do so. One of the things that both of these teams have actually done exceptionally well is their refrag potential. It's been huge.
They won't let go of the need to get a refrag.
It's a tug of war.
It is.
It's a tug of war with the not being in the center of balance between two teams in a 5v5 as it goes from side to side, back and forth.
And we've seen that before, but because these teams are both so mechanically gifted and impressive as squads, it's so incredibly entertaining in this format, in this context.
I mean, we referred to it as a pendulum as well in the past. The pendulum swings. I think I really could up my arsenal when it comes to metaphors.
Is it pendulum or pendulum? I've heard it both ways.
I mean, it's a great band, Michael.
Oh, okay.
They're a great band.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't actually know.
Is that an actual band?
Pendulum? Yeah, pendulum. I think I say now. Oh, now that's gonna fester.
That's gonna fester for me.
That's gonna fester.
I am gonna definitely
pendulum or pendulum. I'll cast your vote in the text box.
I'll
below.
Google it later.
Do you call it pendulum or pendulum? Please vote below.
Heard it both ways.
Yes.
Unsure. Hysteric's trying to challenge the Aqua balcony. You can see Rise looking to contest it as well. It looks like Hysterics is actually just going to fall back. That's probably the right call, but it's a different call than we've been seeing from both teams through this match. Important to know that Rise, while he had a bad map in the previous one and suffered on the kill-death ratio, he is the top performer right now for Giants Gaming.
The EOD is going to go off with 50 seconds off of the board. Still taking up more ground. Ace is on the familiar Nomad, running the Fnatic skin. I think that's a nice nod to APAC here. I really like, just to veer off for just a second, that everybody on Wildcard was running the Na'Vi charm in while playing them. Yeah, I think it was a touching gesture. And it's something that we've seen
there.
Solidarity between these teams before. Not every single team, of course, is in the pilot program. Wildcard wasn't even, I think, as an org, wasn't even in the game when the pilot program skins were unveiled. So Rise has got one within his sight. There's a drone and an EOD now, and all these marks will come on in, and Lunar Metal is completely dead. They had put up a number of reinforcements to assist him upstairs, and his time will not be long for this Earth. The Giants have that second floor controlled. They crave. It only took them about half of the round. It is a kitchen defense. They'll have to translate as to what comes next. Ysera gets too aggressive, but the Smoke Mentalist swings on out. He refrags, but he's not too far off of Aces, who gets chopped to pieces by Speakeasy, and it's back at a 3v3.
And a brief pause here, which is unusual with these teams.
Uncharacteristically quiet.
Yes. There's been there's still a roamer for Aerowolf, and I believe it is Mentalist, who is actually by the blue bar. He's going to rotate over to security. Speakeasy very exposed on delivery. He actually goes for a run out. Can't find anyone. There are two roamers, in fact, right now for Aerowolf, and they're playing an off-site hold. You can see they've opened up the storage wall, and they're holding it from security. This is dangerous, but it could work.
I like that we're finally seeing some active drone work in the latter portion of this actual round. Oh, Speakeasy! I don't think Rise was expecting him to pop on up like that at all. So Speakeasy will now tussle with the Buck, who pulls out the pistol, and Hicks just can't hit any shots. Q Alfama to head towards the service door, but while we've been focusing on Speakeasy, you still got Hysterics and Mentalist alive. So there's lots of depth from Aerowolf. Coming down is Hicks. He'll take down Hysterics, but it's Alfama in the doorway in a 2v1. Where's Mentalist? There he is! Speakeasy got the down earlier, and Aerowolf will stretch their lead. I keep harping on opening kills, but so far the Giants have all but one, and yet they've only got 2 rounds to show for it. That's tough. That's a tough spot. Aerowolf have been reading into this perfectly, and I know we called it a clown fiesta, or I called it a clown fiesta. I think that applies for a lot of the way this is working. That round, though, was much more routine. There was proper drone work. There was execution on that second floor. There was a great roam clear that was aided by the EOD. I think that was much more standard Coastline.
It was also the very first round where we had 2 in a row from either team in this map.
That's nice.
Great job there to Aerowolf for making that happen. It's so hard to read these rounds when you're in the middle of them, when you're in the thick of it. And these replays are also necessary, considering how fast these kills are happening and how right next together you're getting all of them all at once. There's a couple moments there where Giants, they had an opportunity to really keep it going their way and just couldn't make it happen, but barely just couldn't make it happen. Like, just so close. Aerowolf are just edging out their opponent. And it's not easy to do. I'm so impressed with the performance we're seeing from Aera. Can we just take a second to respect and appreciate the performance we're seeing from Aerowolf? I mean, who thought? It was the same thing for Wildcard, by the way.
Have you... If only there was a button to show respect.
I mean, we don't need that kind of respect yet.
Pay respects.
Not
only there were a single letter.
We're not there yet.
If only there were a single letter to pay respect.
There's a particular context to that respect, and that's not the one
I genuinely don't know. Is there? I don't know. Maybe one day.
Maybe. I think maybe at the end, when it's necessary, we can use that one.
Aerowolf have really come out guns a-blazing on this defense, and Coastline is an attacker-sided map for the most part. I know that you hear us drone on and on and on and on, something that these teams haven't necessarily done all that much, which is drone on, about how the maps are more defender-sided.
Are you saying there hasn't been a lot of droning, or?
Yes, that was the pun.
Yes.
Glad that you picked up on it.
Thank you.
No, I mean, you hear us drone on about how all these maps are defender-sided, which would raise the question very honestly and very genuinely, what the hell map is attacker-sided? Well, Coastline's about as close as you usually get. Oh, he's going to get one, go for another, but he gets caught out, doesn't get spotted. Corey still finds him, and you go right back to a 4v4. Speakeasy getting very brazen. I think he bit off a bit more than he could chew.
I call.
I don't know if that's the call you want to make, but if you're feeling good, which I'm sure he was after that play, he takes the buck out. Goodbye to the frag grenades. That may be worthwhile.
Is that a double retake on the blue bar? Yes, it is, and it'll work out. Aces goes down to Hysterics thanks to this teamwork you're seeing here on blue bar. The double mark from the Lion EE1D. Oh! It won't be punished! Hysterics gets another, and Ysera adds to it. Corey, the last one alive, and he can get a single kill, but he's got to find 3 more, and it just doesn't seem likely. He's got 1 EE1D left, and a large magazine on that V308. But he's going to have some serious luck if he wants to bring this round home.
Tough prospect with just over a minute to go. Corey has been a hot topic of conversation when you look at his play on Villa. He's got the last bit of utility that'll now be squeezed out of his operator, and patience from Aerowolf. They're not going to give anything just yet. You don't need to peek. You've got 50 seconds. Corey still has a wealth of time to work with, though, and if there's anybody who could possibly pull off a 1v3, it's Corey. He's got a great shot. But you're going to have to rely a little bit on Aerowolf making some mistakes here. Peeking at different times. They're not giving you a single thing. Lunar Metal's also got the cardiac sensor out. I don't know if Corey got spotted at all, but look at this. Once again, the patience from Aerowolf. Nobody's giving him a single thing, but 2 will swing out at the same time. Can't quite hit the mute. Around the corner, he'll be able to see the knee, but he gets trounced. Almost a flawless round. The first half goes to Aerowolf, 4-2. That's what you want to see if you're a fan of this APAC squad. They'll swap sides, and it's Giants on defense now.
An impressive performance there from Aerowolf. Truly, Coastline seems to be a map that they are exceptionally comfortable on. And now, as we transition to the second half, Giants Gaming are going to have to show us what they have to show on defense. Okay, that last round. Giants had a lot of different missions, as you can see. They're trying to clear in the top floor. They were trying to clear into Hookah. They were trying to clear into Aqua, into Office, below Aqua. There was so much going on for Giants, and that spread out nature is counter to what they have been showing us through the majority of these rounds. It's the sort of slip in how, in what has been giving the advantage to both teams, and that's manpower, that's sheer refrag potential. It's a little slip there for Giants Gaming in that last round, where they just didn't set themselves up. They didn't set up for success. It's rough when you see it, but it happens. And we're going on to the second half. This will benefit Giants in that they're now on defense. You're automatically set up for those refrags because you're defending, and you don't have to put extra thought into it necessarily. So this could be the moment where Giants start their rally back. But again, let's just take a moment to recognize the fact that Aerowolf are, guys, they're 3 rounds away from knocking out Giants and moving to the semis.
I mean, I think people sleep on APAC, and I could be included, I think, in that conversation.
I could too.
A lot of times when you talk about APAC, the conversation is always dominated by Fnatic, Nora Ringo, maybe sometimes Cyclops, and occasionally Cloud9. But Wildcard and Aerowolf don't really get paid much love at all, despite the fact that Wildcard, going all the way back to when they were Athletico, were such a dominant team in APAC. They were always almost in lockstep with Fnatic, though not quite as good. And then Fnatic had the international pedigree as well.
Did you notice that Wildcard, by the way, when they were playing, there was somebody with a membrane keyboard? Did you see that?
Yeah, I think I can't remember who it was.
I couldn't catch it. Yeah. I only saw it briefly, but
yeah,
that's Aces with a C4 in this round. Speakeasy goes down early. It's a great start, but Mentalist answers back. There's Corey on the floor.
Corey is absolutely eliminated and just pulverized as this.
It's a good word.
This is Fuse. Okay, when was the last time we saw a Fuse?
A long time ago.
Long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, Michael?
Yes.
Yes. Well, the Rise of Lunar Metal is about to debut in just a couple weeks' time. You can go see it in your local theaters. His gadget is going to be exceptional at clearing out all the garbage that's on the site. That's one of the greatest strengths that Fuse has. He's very noisy. He is particularly slow. He's got a great gun attached to him in the AK-12.
AK-12 top 5 in DPS on attacking weapons.
I mean,
or something.
A lot of people say a lot of people would argue that it's the second best gun on attack after the F2, but it's just attached.
High up there.
It's just attached to a boat anchor. So I mean,
yeah.
You know, you can have the nicest speedboat in the world, but you know, if you're running a tiny motor on it, you're gonna have a problem. So
absolutely. The 3 armor is not I guess a form factor that a lot of people choose deliberately. They only take it when it's thrust upon them.
Yeah.
Now, Ysera trying to challenge outside on exit. Mentalist setting up the breaching charges above. There's only 1 minute left for Aerowolf, but they still have that top 4 control. They can do a lot of work with this.
You can just see it from the way that Mentalist ran outside, then ran right back on in. The comms are a mess at the moment, and they're trying to figure out exactly how they want to pull off this execute. Keep in mind, there's going to be a cacophony of noise now, as I don't think Fuse has gotten more than one of those cluster charges off. Yes, that's absolutely correct. He's going to get stunned from the Zofia down below, and there goes another cluster charge, and wait for the very final one to debut. That looks like it might be a mist smoke as well, as there's tons of explosives. Hicks is in the midst of his own toxic canister, and he doesn't really know what's about to hit him if there's another cluster charge to go off. But Hicks is getting the call to just evacuate the site. It's still a 4v4 with 20 seconds left. This is going to get real messy real fast. Giants have realized that they need to get out of the site as quickly as they can, and here comes the execute. But Rise around the window will get 1 for his trouble. Ace is taken out by Mentalist. Another from Mentalist, looking to get gunned down from Alpha. So it's a 2v2, but the Hibana's there. Where is Rise going to go? It's him versus Ysera, and a 1v1. Rise has the cross. Goodbye, Ysera. Giants recover. Aerowolf not quite as close to being able to finish this one out. You can see the fans here, obviously. They have been taken over by Aerowolf Fever from the region of which we are broadcasting this finals out of.
I mean, just in general, this match, the intensity is abundant.
Yes.
It's hard to really ignore it. It's enthralling, the word I'll use. That last round was really interesting for a number of different reasons. We saw a lot of off-site play. We saw the roamers do a bunch of work. We saw some mistakes made by our Aerowolf. For example, Hicks. Hicks ran all over the Sunrise Bar room, and at no point was he punished for his movements. And he was finished off there by Mentalist at the end, but he wasn't punished when he was exposed, when there was an opportunity to be had. Rise was a key player, a star in that round. He only got 2-3 kills maybe, but what the most important thing to note is about that last round is that he got the most impactful kills, and he was in a position that was safe, reserved, and allowed Giants to win it out in the end. Because Rise did not fall into the same trap that a lot of these players are falling into, which is, this is really intense, this is really close, I need to do everything possible, everything in my power to keep my team in the lead, to give my team everything that they can get. and I need to make this play because it's going to do just that. We are seeing a lot of that, and it's the sort of thing that that starts to push your team into being individuals, to take them away from the team play, from the teamwork. It's happened. I know what that's like. I felt that before, where you think, oh, this will work, this will help, this will add to for us. And usually, if you get too absorbed in that, it can really damage the actual teamwork and the cohesion with the unit. But Rise didn't let that happen on last round. He was a big part of why Giants were able to lock it out in the end.
Aerowolf is bringing this interesting lineup that we saw on Villa that's going to be centered around Lunar Metal's play on Montaigne. This is some of the most shield play that we've actually seen out of a team in quite some time, and enough Monty to make FaZe Clan blush, especially Yuna in particular.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll confound Giants because Coastline is not the same kind of map that Villa is. It's not as claustrophobic. Usually, like I said, you usually want to see lots of frags. Monty is an operator that is almost allergic to fragging unless you can get him up real close. Lunar Metal's being moved in from Sunrise Bar. Corey is every single operator, by the way, right now, in case you're keeping track. So.
Are we cycling and he's still
he's everybody.
The camera has been interesting for this.
He's literally everybody. Corey is doing his.
He is a really stellar player.
Mr. Homeless impression, I think, is.
Yeah, that is exactly what's happening.
He plays
here.
literally everybody on the team. So.
Yeah, impressive stuff.
The Monty was moving in. Rise has taken some damage. That's been about it. It looks like Mentalist has taken a scratch or two as well. You hear the EUMP of Higgs just swatting away at some drones. As the push from Aerowolf appears to be centered on over towards delivery, but it's Lunar Metal who actually has access to the diffuser. He can continue to march on forward. Well, he might be able to plant the default spot, but what will stop him is that the Giants have somebody playing above. Actually happens to be Rise, who's now been taken down, and it might not be information that Aerowolf has at hand. Goodbye, Mentalist, as Corey finds that MP5 at long range, and Sarah falls as well. It's the dominoes from Aerowolf are slowly but surely tilting over.
Uh-oh.
We see Speakeasy very low as well, but Hysterics finds Corey. Rise is finished off by Speakeasy too.
Oh,
there's another from Hysterics as he comes alive inside of the lobby, and things have now swung quite violently in favor of Aerowolf. Falling way back is Alfama. 30 seconds left. Ace is still upstairs. He's going to rotate through the courtyard. Sees the Montaigne. That's a beautiful shot from Aces, and he's hot on the trail of the buck. If Speakeasy doesn't know, this is game over for that round. Tie game between these two teams, 4-4.
My God, what a read from Aces.
Absolutely, just a pure thing of beauty.
His games, his awareness, all of it, the precision of his aim. The man is incredible, and he has been such an important factor in the success of the Giants. And not only success, but look at this, guys. We were at 4-2 in the first half. Giants have won two in a row, and now we go to 4-4. Just how, wow, did you see that shot, Parker? That one just now?
Yeah, that was dirty.
A flick from Aces, and just...
Yes, it's I
wow.
Would need to, if you could cast the rest of the matchup, I will need to go and take a shower. Because of how dirty it was. That's
you just gonna leave me here?
The joke is that I need to go shower because it was so dirty, Michael.
Nah, I got the joke.
Wash the filth off.
Yep.
From that shot.
Somebody dump a bucket of water on it.
Honestly, Ace's shot onto the head of the Monty was gorgeous as well. That was really something. And
the patience was incredible.
In an era right now where teams that run Mozzie have been running the Commando, I don't know if you can hit that with the Commando. It has a bit more recoil. The Roni is a laser beam, essentially.
It is. Yeah, you can even put the angle grip on there.
Yeah, you can.
And it's still a laser beam.
That little goofy...
It actually doesn't change, like it aesthetically changes very little. They just tilt it.
Because the gun's like it's like a casing, right? You put like a pistol.
Is it it's one of those pistol ones?
Yeah, you put a machine pistol in it.
Like the FMG or FJ or no FMG 9.
FMG.
Yeah.
I want to say FMJ because it stands for Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yes.
Now 4-4 here, and we're seeing not necessarily as much of back and forth as we were seeing in the other maps. We saw 3 rounds in a row for Aerowolf in the first half, now 2 rounds in a row for Giants here. It's been a predominantly defender-sided map.
Versus a very attacker-sided Villa. It doesn't matter what operator you put Aces on, Michael, because he's going to do just that. And, oh no, Lunar Metal's got breaching charges on the Jackal.
We've seen that before.
As small as that might be, though, honestly, that can lose you a full round.
Yeah, because you need those smokes if you're bringing the Jackal. Sometimes it's not necessarily always what you're planning on, but it's important.
And that's honestly a mistake that comes from you not setting up ahead of time. You think, oh, I got smokes, but you're not at home. You're not playing on your account. You're playing on a LAN account. You need to set everything ahead of time. And
it could be that they wanted more soft destruction, but I don't see that as likely. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate with saying that, even suggesting it. They've got a Sophia and a Buck. That should be plenty.
Hysteric's on upside down repel, and he manages to avoid a nitro cell that goes soaring out just over his head. It careens through the air, I think you could call it. Burn the ADSs, why don't you? As Ysera is on his belly inside of VIP. He's all alone. He's opened up one of the walls. He's got the Buck not too far off, and well, that might actually be a Maestro cam or an Evil Eye that they've managed to take care of. If only you had an operator like a Nomad or a Gridlock, as you can see that both Corey and Lunar Metal are so close to each other, and I mean, every single time they keep switching perspectives, the audience keeps laughing because they understand it. I think they're aware that Corey is still down there. He's going to leave a trail of those painful breadcrumbs, and he's going to retreat. There goes another grenade, and I think it actually got the Evil Eye this time.
Yeah, well done there to Speakeasy get the Evil Eye. It took him 2 nades, but he made it happen. Alfalma looking to punish by holding the angle into 90. No peek there from Speakeasy.
Is going to put you in a 3v5 at that point because you've already lost Mentalist earlier on. 30 seconds left in playing this bullet hole as aces. He's been excellent so far, broke double digits with the kill earlier onto Mentalist and is looking to do so again. But Lunar Metal's going to shrug it off, at least for the time being. Very hard to hit that shot around the reinforcement. You've got all of Giants with their eyes trained on their foes. Ysera finds one, Hysteric's another, but Rise is still there, pulls out the shotgun. At close range, he's going to be so deadly. They don't know where he is at all. Don't know where anybody is, rather, I was going to say, for Rise. But Giants clean up. That's 3 in a row for them now. And they've got an abundance of the opening kills every single time. They've won on Bars, Kitchen, and Hookah. So now the cycle will continue as the Giants look ready to possibly put this one away. Tactical timeout coming out from Aerowolf, and what do you imagine they're talking about?
I imagine they're talking about the fact that they just blew a 4-2 lead and have lost the lead overall in the match.
At least it wasn't a 4-1 lead, right?
Yeah, sure.
That's a Leafs joke. Flynn would have gotten it.
Okay.
He'd be very angry, right?
You know me in references. Look at the face on Mentalist right there, right in front, nice and in center. That's a lot of thought going in there for this match. There's a lot to be said, a lot to be done in this tactical timeout. I think more than can be done with the time constraints that are on the shoulders of Aerowolf right now. There's so much that they need to improve upon. I mean, Giants managed to eke out 2 attack wins, right, in the first half. And we're thinking to ourselves, okay, it's Coastline. Well, it should be attacker-sided, and Giants are not winning. So what is this? Is our Aerowolf going to be able to lock it out? Is it going to be done? Just like that. We'll get into the second half and answer no, clearly not. I mean, that's 3 in a row for Giants on defense. They look just as strong as Aerowolf did on defense of this map. And as you said earlier, we had an opposite day for Villa. We're having an opposite day now for Coastline. It's been a really weird one. And the reason, again, is just the fact that both of these teams are playing an entirely different type of Siege. The way that they are playing this is just not like what we're used to. There's so little emphasis being placed on hard destruction, coordination. It's just constant fight. Fight. It's interesting to watch. It really is. And in my opinion, it's going to go down as one of the most exciting matches we've had in a long time. Just pure excitement levels. Oh, astronomical.
I mean, I tweeted out that the Na'Vi versus Wildcard match that we just witnessed was one of the most exciting matches that we've ever seen. In this case, I think we've almost topped it, but the final of Na'Vi Wildcard going into overtime was really something else.
Look at that. Aces has only lost a single opening duel. One. He has won 12 and lost a single one.
Yeah, but can you name it?
What?
Yeah, but can you name it? Can you name the duel?
No, I cannot.
I think it was a joke.
I can't. Pop quiz, which duel did Aces lose? I'm sure somebody in chat will get it.
We've been very heavy on the chat interaction today. Shout out to Belly for how much that man loves talking to the chat. We are learning from him.
Now,
also, I just love Belly.
Everybody loves Belly.
I love Belly.
Yeah.
Aerowolf has changed some things up. So obviously the Montaigne experiment with Lunar Metal was not working out very effectively. I was wondering when we were going to see a gridlock. She is very effective on this map. Her track stingers are able to lock down both stairwells without you having to worry too much about it. She can also lock down any singular or double doorway if you're worried about flank routes. And with the fact that it's been opening kill palooza for Giants, Aerowolf have been down a man almost every single round in this matchup. You might as well bring somebody who excels in anti-flank so you don't need to commit a person to it.
We don't just have to talk about how gridlock is good on this map. I mean, it's also good considering what's been happening gameplay-wise in this match. Mantos will get the initial kill. There goes Corey. That's a good pick onto the Jaeger. He's obviously already placed his utility, but that's a really important gun in the 3-speed taken care of. There goes the gridlocks, track stingers. Now that's got to be a massive delay factor for Aerowolf. And it also is going to hamper the potential for refrags on the side of Giants Gaming. Because if, let's say you have somebody upstairs, they die on defense, you're not going to be able to push in to assist and get that kill back. Considering how relevant that's been for both teams, I think the gridlock, I agree with you, is a really good pick here for Aerowolf.
She's just honestly a great operator as well. She's kitted to the teeth. She survives and shrugs off a lot of blows. She's got great weapons, blah, 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 blah. We've spoken about her prowess a lot in the past. And, you know, when you look at her utility and how it applies here, she's very strong. Now, this is a bit sloppiness from Ysera, as that whole wall is not going to be opened up as much as he'd like. And that might actually prevent the attackers from being able to get through the way that they want to. Well, inside of the mud room or the front foyer there. First round of track stingers that we can hear at least is going to be going off. They'll stop somebody from getting to the site, but I would hope that something else has been thrown as there's 40 seconds left.
It's got to be a quick attack here from Aerowolf if they want to make this happen still. They do have the man advantage, but that might not be enough when the actual assault comes in. Smoke's getting ready here for Lunar Metal, but he's got to get those down quickly. We hit the 25-second mark, but oh, nice shot from Lunar. It's answered back by a nice shot from Alfalma. That means no smokes are going to be going down for Aerowolf. They still have such a man advantage as Mentalist gets his second. There's going to be Aces finishing off Mentalist in the garden. So on to Ysera to get that plant. Got Speakeasy above, trying to cover, deny rotation, and he'll do at least that. As the plant goes down, Ysera eats a little bit of damage, but it doesn't matter, as Aerowolf will win it in the post plant. A nice coverage there. Nice isolation of the site. Aerowolf pushed themselves into a 5-on-5.
You know what this means, Michael?
What's that?
It means that we're going to need every round of regulation to get through this matchup again.
And well, at the very least.
At the very least.
And I imagine overtime.
I would expect overtime with the way these teams have been playing as well. And it was a very effective entry from Aerowolf with 30 seconds left on the clock that defined that round. The coverage on the window from two separate members of Aerowolf as you peek and then re-peek from the Giants, not expecting a second person there. And why could you commit two people to that window? Because you didn't need to stick somebody on anti-flank, because all 3 rounds of those track stingers had been tossed out, that you can think in the back of your mind, I'm okay, I don't necessarily need to commit as hard. I think that was a great swap onto the gridlock, and I imagine that we're going to see it stick around. And yes, there you go on your screen, Lunar Metal running the gridlock yet again.
Remember what I was talking about, how sometimes when you get into these kinds of matches, you get carried away with your own potential ability to do stuff, and you start to make plays that might compromise your team's cohesion?
I do remember.
That does happen from time to time still, but one thing I am noticing, and I love to see this, is that the more common theme is a similar kind of scenario.
Okay.
The difference is that where all these things are coming out, it's mostly down to actually just trusting your teammates. Sometimes you make a brazen play because you know if you die making that play, your teammates will win the round. Sometimes you make a brazen play because you know that no matter what, it's not going to compromise anything because you trust your squad. And if it does work out, then oh boy, well, you know, leg up. Good job, congratulations, move forward. This match has really just been a lot about that trust. It's been a lot about the aggression and the confidence to commit to that aggression. Because it's not just aggression as we would describe it in usually terms of But well, honestly, sometimes that could be used as a derogatory phrase in Siege comp.
Yeah.
I would not describe what we're seeing as that. I would describe this as trust.
Aerowolf has swapped out Hysterix' operator for Twitch. He's been exceptionally good at being able to hit his shots today, so why not put the F2 in his hands? He spots the pulse and almost gets the window. That is rough. Unfortunate timing for him. Doesn't appear that he has another shock drone available, so that might be all she wrote as the Giants will go back to the drawing board with that mirror pick overall. Keep in mind that you still have a buck, so you can, well, you almost had a buck, but Giants has an aces, and he destroyed the buck, and will probably continue to destroy other things before this matchup is actually done. Aces is just straight scary with the way that he plays.
Yeah.
He's up top, and I don't know if Aerowolf has his position on lockdown. He just gave it away by firing through the wall. C4 is going to go up. Corey sets it off. A beautiful C4 gone off without even having the cell phone, but doesn't connect with anything. It's going to open up a two-way hole, though, for Mentalist. Remember, as Emzo famously said, you know, holes work both ways. Mentalist is now going to essentially get a free breaching charge out of that one, as Gridlock is up there doing some soft destructive work as well. 1 minute left, and Corey takes some damage, but that's it. With that opening pick, the Giants can conceivably trade out the rest of this round over the remaining minute.
The attack, disadvantage in manpower, disadvantage in time, but advantage control. They can do a lot with this. They're trying to pinch aces in office. I feel like this is a bad idea, but the flash is going to prove me otherwise, as Hysterix gets the kill off of that flash, and Mentalist elsewhere has eliminated Corey. Which means Giants Gaming, while they have a lot of HP, they don't have a lot of manpower. Oh, opportunity missed from Hicks! He could have gotten one! He doesn't get anything! Izzy almost manages to land the shot, but not quite. Alfalma has been lit up from above, but there's only 20 seconds left for Aerowolf to get the plant. Rise! Oh, he's not spotted by Ysera. He could make this happen, but that's just the flanker. There he goes, though. Ysera eliminated. Rise doesn't get a second one. It's all on Alfalma, and it doesn't seem likely as he's being flanked right now. The rush works out, and Aerowolf, match point!
I'm not invested in either of these teams' success, but I don't know if you're going to agree with me on this. There was 2 seconds left on the clock and nobody was planting. I'm thinking to myself, there's no way you're about to lose this one, are you? There's no way. Now, the Giants still have a timeout from my back of the napkin math over here.
Yeah.
And I think this is the time that you want to use it, providing they have one available. I could be wrong. So before people start flaming them relentlessly, saying, why didn't you take your time out? Well, they might have already taken it, and I might just not have written it down, so I apologize.
Did you see the handshaking on both teams?
I mean, this
the
is
adrenaline.
Keep in mind, the Giants have never made it at a major event. They've never made it out of the quarterfinals.
That's true.
They would go up against Dark Zero, another team that's never done that, tomorrow, and then the winner of that goes to the finals. So you basically get two teams that never make it out of the quarters going up against each other, and one of them is guaranteed to go to the finals. This is Aerowolf's first international event that they had to qualify for, because they went to the Allied Esports Minor, but I believe they were invited. I could be wrong. Please don't crucify me if I am wrong. Aerowolf are 1 round away, and oh my goodness, this has been a hell of a matchup. The story itself, right now on your screen, out of a possible 45 rounds, we've had 41 of them. We are only 3 short, or 4 short, and we could conceivably hit 44 or 45.
We could miss 1 round total. If we get overtime and this goes all the way in OT, then we could have just missed 1 round total, which would have been the last round of overtime in the first map.
Which is wild. So, Aerowolf realize things are working out quite effectively for them. What have they changed up? Well, the IQ has gone to an Ash, and that's it. As for the defense, they haven't really made a change at all. The opening pick is going to be crucial here because, well, Giants have dominated in opening picks, and they've won almost all the rounds that they've gotten it in. Aerowolf got 1 opening pick on attack. That was it. Just a singular pick. Mentalist coming so close, takes out Aces, but he re-engages. How does Aces land a shot like that? That is unbelievable.
You don't shoot at Aces and miss, because he will make you suffer for it.
If you come at the king, you best not miss, I believe, is what they say.
I don't know, but that sounds right.
Look at the nerves. You can see it right here, first and foremost. Speakeasy is going to disorient himself, but find Rise. All right. Speakeasy almost getting tagged by the Mozzie drone of Aces. Hysterix is over inside a Sunrise bar, and Lunar Metal is at the main door. Aces is behind the main lobby desk, and if he gets droned out, I don't know if he's going to be able to get out of there. He'll have to shoot his way out, and if there's anybody who I'd trust to shoot their way out of a situation, it's probably Aces.
Hysterix doing a little bit of damage there with that Twitch drone, but not nearly as much value as he would have gotten if you were able to get an Evil Eye. It's a deceptively slow round. We've seen a lot of engagements, 2 kills already, but we're only hitting the halfway mark. So there's still lots of work to be done for both squads. Aerowolf committing to a Sunrise bar take. Some pre-fires coming out there from Hicks, but no shots land. Well, because it's known to be Sunrise bar, Giants Gaming are going to set themselves up in an array to rebuff this attack from Aerowolf coming from Sunrise and Blue.
Speakeasy has the ability to go belly underneath those destroyed walls into the courtyard, but he's going to open a little bit more of it up, and then there goes his last concussive blast. Smoke will mean that Aerowolf can just go on in, and a C4 takes down Lunar Metal as Speakeasy guns through Aces. So Aces, the difference maker, he's gone. You're going to have the guns come alive. Alfama finished, it's all on Hicks in a 1v3! It started with Fnatic, and it took down Norarengo. Are we going to see Aerowolf continue their reign of terror, taking out these long-standing teams in the region? Hicks finds one, goes for a second, but call them the Giant Killers! Aerowolf at their first international win will survive to the semifinals. What a hell of a performance. And they grind that one out, taking down and toppling the Giants.
Giants, one of the favored teams to take this whole tournament, gone at the hands of Aerowolf, just like that.
That is an extraordinary performance, and you can hear the crowd here. The regional representatives will stay around the Giants. That's a tough pill to swallow.
Certainly.
We know our first matchup tomorrow, Michael, and you and I are going to be casting it. Dark Zero versus Aerowolf to start off the show tomorrow, presuming that our schedule stays the same.
Let me tell you, I cannot wait for that match. It is going to be an absolutely amazing performance.
You mentioned that Hicks has not always been in the clutch, but he came so
close.
Damn close. At the end of that round, and take the time, listen to the ovation. You've earned it, Aerowolf. You know what they've done? They bought Mentalist another day with this team. Devmarta touched on the analyst desk that Mentalist tweeted, "This is my last time playing with this squad." Well, not yet. Not yet. You still got at least one more matchup tomorrow against Dark Zero.
It's been a really interesting ride.
Giants Gaming will go back to the drawing board. That was it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a tough pill to swallow, but we have Matt Andrews on the stage to speak to your winners of our third quarterfinal, Aerowolf.
Thank you, guys. We have an APAC team in the semifinals. We have Singapore in the semifinals. We have Aerowolf. Take that in, Aera. Take that in. You've done it for APAC, for your country, for your teammates. You've made it through to the semifinals. This reign of terror that you're on, taking down gigantic names, now includes the Giants as well. Before this tournament, many people had them as the favorites to lift the trophy tomorrow. Now it could be you.
To be honest, I predicted Giants to win as well. We didn't expect to win at all. We just went in, round by round. We just played our hearts out. That's all it took.
You went in round by round. We nearly had every single round we could have had across 3 maps. So talk us through your journey, if you can, of the last few hours as you realized, okay, we're going into this to give it our best, and it changed into, we can actually beat them.
I think it first started on Cafe. I can't remember, were we 3-0 or something? We felt like we had this game, but as you guys saw, we threw that advantage away. I think after the first 5 rounds in Cafe, we knew we had what it takes to beat these EU teams. Before that, we had no experience whatsoever. But yeah, I think we can take it all the way now.
Think you can take it all the way now? That's an exciting prospect. So you came here with expectations, or What was your goal? What were you hoping? Obviously, you want to win it. But what did you really think? If you thought Giants were going to beat you, what did you think? Maybe we'll come away with a map?
With a map?
Yeah. What was your kind of? If you won a map, was that a good result for you?
Yeah, I think so. I think we will be completely satisfied with even if it was 0-2 by Giants. We were honestly no expectations whatsoever.
0-2 to Giants instead turns into you beating them. So tomorrow we get this amazing clash between teams who've never made it in a semi-final before. It'll be you against Dark Zero. How do you feel about that?
Dark Zero, the last time we faced them at Vegas, I think their roster just formed with Hyper. They are a really strong team. Like over the past few months, we've been watching their VODs. We watched a lot of VODs like Giants, Dark Zero. I still think we're going to lose tomorrow.
Well, you thought you were going to lose this. So if you think you're going to lose against Dark Zero, sounds like a pretty confident place to be in. We might see you in the grand finals. We will see you in the semi-finals. Congratulations! Aerowolf have done it! We'll see them tomorrow!